Hey everyone, welcome to FLIMFLAM. I'm Allison and...
I'm Brie. What's up, Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, we found out Wisconsin really likes us, so we're
That's pretty cool.
super psyched about that.
We should go on tour in Wisconsin.
just so we're one state.
Yeah. We'll find like a big bar or a popular local bar or something, and we'll canvass the area. We'll put out advertisements and stuff, and have a street team, and be like,
Sure,
yeah,
street team. Yeah.
Flim Flam coming to Wisconsin where we have the most downloads, and it'll be good.
It'll be great.
It'll be awesome.
So a note from last
Our
episode.
sponsors.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah, right. A note from last episode. I made fun of Brie for gambling. Gambling addiction is a serious thing.
It is.
If you have that
I know,
problem,
it fucking sucks.
please talk to a therapist or seek out Gamblers Anonymous.
Good disclaimer.
Yeah.
Self-exclusion too can be really helpful. That's what I ended up having to do. So, and you know what's really fun? After
really
I did
fun.
that, I got an offer. Okay, so I'd had an offer from a major Atlantic city casino that I won't name, but they sent me along with that offer a letter saying that, hey, you only banned yourself from online gambling. If you still want to come here and physically gamble, we won't stop you. So these fucking dirty bastards are like trying to enable this problem that I have. Really, they're like, I had a little bit of a problem over the summer. I went on self-exclusion. It worked. It's great. And now they're emailing me like, yeah, here, just come blow all your money and ruin your life in person instead of digitally. So, yeah, casinos are fucking bloodthirsty vampires that will suck you dry if you let them. And that's my PSA.
Okay. I wasn't going to call you out like that much, but I was just going to say like, hey, anybody with a problem, their help is available.
And don't go to a casino in person. Resist the urge. Don't listen to the letters. That's what I got.
Don't listen to the letters you will get from casinos begging you to come in.
Dude, these headphones are nuts.
So Brie is wearing my really fancy Bluetooth headphones, and she can hear everything inside her brain.
But there's a delay. I mean, there's always a delay. After I talk, there's a delay in when I hear it through the headphones. And I'm hearing Allison next to me talk at the same time. But then there's also a delay with that. Am I talking really slow like you said you had?
No, I was talking real slow when I did it. You're wonderful, Brie.
I'm doing okay?
You're doing okay.
Oh, yay. Okay, validation. Nice, good stuff. So we should get sponsors in Wisconsin. Yo, they should send us cheese.
I mean, I used to work for a cheese company. I
my God.
used to be able to get all the cheddar you could eat.
Can you still, or?
I mean, I still got the cheese hookup,
Does your cheese hookup have any Wisconsin cheese hookups?
I mean, yeah, that's where the cheese is manufactured, is Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
I wonder if people from like your old job are going and being, you know what I mean? Like talking to their cheese distributors and hooking, downloading all our stuff. I wonder if they're responsible for our fan base.
I'm sure my old bosses are talking up FLIMFLAM, for sure. For sure.
You never know. Coworkers, they might be like, hey, I wonder what Allison's up to. And then they find our wonderful podcast and they all downloaded it in Wisconsin. Yep, because all your coworkers worked in Wisconsin.
I mean, some of them did.
See? I'm telling you. It's your cheese hookup.
I don't know.
So if Wisconsin likes us that much, they should sponsor us by sending us cheese.
Yes, the state
and we
of
will eat their
Wisconsin should
cheese
sponsor us.
on air and review it. We can do cheese reviews as well. It'll be Brie's cheese reviews.
Yeah.
Yo, maybe that's why Wisconsin likes us so much.
Because your name is
Brie Cheese. Yeah, man. That's it. All right, I'm done. I'll let you talk about our actual thing now.
Oh my God.
So we have a topic?
We do have a topic.
We're going on to part 2 of the Ponzi scheme, right?
The Ponzi scheme,
what?
yes.
All this time I was thinking it was the bear on the Muppets.
Oh my God.
Sorry, not sorry. No, I'm just picturing Fozzie Bear with the jacket and everything.
No,
like,
I know.
All right, so last where we left off, I'll let you take over.
Okay, so we left off with me explaining what IRCs, International Reply Coupons, are.
Right, the value changes as they go from place to place.
Yeah, so you can pretty much cash them in buy them in one country, cash them in another, and technically make a profit. Technically,
I was thinking that like independent contracting companies did something similar here, but I was all wrong on that. So don't listen to me talking about that.
Oh, I cut that out.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh,
'cause you
yeah.
told me to.
Allison made me sound less dumb. That is quite a feat. So, okay. So he discovered these coupons and he was making a profit by trading them off of each other, kind of.
Well, so that was the idea. That's what he was telling people. But we now know that he was actually just taking money from the initial investors or taking money from new investors and paying the initial investors back when they asked for money. But people were so impressed by how much money they were making that they often just reinvested with him. So he didn't even have to pay them back.
Oh.
So, like when you're gambling and you win, you just put the money back in.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you're like, oh, I'll definitely win again. And people saw that. They liked how he handled money and yeah.
Yeah, they were like, I like the cut of your jib, son. Yeah.
Ponzi the pirate.
Yeah. The pirate pawns. Okay. So,
Arr.
Oh, why does anybody listen to this? Okay, so the year is 1920, and he's just starting out. He initially claims returns of 50% interest within 45 days and had 18 investors in his first month.
Okay.
So true to his word, these investors were paid back with significant interests, but we now know that they were not paid by, him actually doing the thing.
Right.
So, yeah. He wound up setting up a larger office and had to have agents handle the new investors that kept rolling in.
He had agents. I'm wondering how he paid these agents.
I mean, I think he paid them with the money from the investors.
Right. Just turning it around.
Well, so how he would pay them is that they would get 10% of the investment. But eventually business got so busy that these guys hired their own sub-agents who were 5%. So that's...
which is
almost
basically like a triangle kind of shape.
Almost like that. Almost like a triangle kind of shape. So that's why the Ponzi scheme is often confused with the pyramid scheme.
Okay. That's what I just did.
Yeah, that is what you just did.
In real time. We just captured what's the misconception kind of as it occurred in somebody's head.
Yeah. So pyramid schemes are really more like multi-level marketing schemes where you have people underneath you that sell and you get a percentage of what they sell.
Right.
So, yeah, a little different though. Okay, so by May, Ponzi had made $420,000, which is over $5 million in today's money.
Jesus.
So at this point, investors were still receiving impressive returns, which only encouraged others to invest.
Yeah.
By the end of July 1920, he was raking in almost $1 million weekly.
$1 million a week.
In that money, too. So that's what, like...
Just by getting investments, essentially?
Yeah, just by gathering like that much in investments.
That's a lot of money.
It is. It's quite a bit of money. So he starts depositing these sums and purchased a controlling interest in Hanover Trust, which is the same bank that had rejected him for the $2,000 loan the year before.
That's hilarious.
Right?
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I don't need your loan anymore.
I own 51% of this
You hold my
bank.
money now.
Yeah, you hold it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So people were investing their life savings and mortgaging their homes to invest with Ponzi. They were real excited about it. Okay, so initial investors were working class immigrants just like Charles and Rose, but eventually the high society Boston Brahmins invested as well. So the Boston Brahmins are those guys. I was just going to ask
what that is.
They're the fancy pants people from Boston.
Okay.
They talk like this. I can't even do it right.
Oh, like the Harvard Yard guys?
No,
that's not where that comes from.
No, they do that thing where you like don't move your chin while you talk and you
like
speak
a ventriloquist. Oh, I don't know what you mean. I kind of like this. Am I doing it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's how you get the nasal sound.
Exactly.
Indeed. Okay, I gotcha.
Kind of.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, it's those guys.
Oh, Muffy.
Yes. You have to
we
call
should go down
all of your children have to be named Muffy.
House, which is its own miniature shore house. Sorry to
Brie.
Starbucks. I got it.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, good. So Ponzi was willing to take investments from anyone, newspaper boys, his driver, his own
His
brother-in-law.
newspaper boys?
Yeah, newspaper boys. You know, the guys are like extra, extra.
Yeah.
His own driver and his brother-in-law.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm still on newspaper boys. They had money to invest.
They would invest like $15 at a time.
Okay.
You know, small investments, but that's a lot of money for a newspaper
right,
boy.
That's so he would just take money from even
anybody.
people who didn't have a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or people that did because, you know,
Right.
Boston Brahmins.
Yeah.
But,
So everyone from Boston Brahmins to newspaper boys.
But this guy did not give a shit about getting caught. In fact, at 1.75% of the Boston PD were investors.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they know what he was doing?
No.
Like, do you think they were wise? Nobody was.
Nobody
right.
knew. They just thought he was some sort of, you know, financial genius because that's how he marketed himself.
Yep.
So we know that he wasn't paying investors for the money gained through any kind of legitimate business.
Right.
But they didn't know that. Often he wouldn't have to pay anything back because, like I said, they were just reinvesting with him. So suddenly newspapers start asking him to what his secrets are. They want to know, you know, how is he such a financial genius? So Ponzi was in need of a publicist stat. And yes, they had publicists back then, which I was like, oh, okay. But they had publications, so they had publicists. So it was then that Charles was introduced to publicity agent William H. McMasters by none other than Judge Frank Leveroni and Hanover Trust Company treasurer William S. McNary.
So the bank that first refused him a loan, and then he was like, "Here, hold my money."
Yeah.
He then got a treasurer from that bank to work for him.
Basically.
Nice.
Or to be like making introductions for him anyway. So McMasters was wary of Ponzi. He got this swindler a front page interview anyway in the Boston Post.
Okay.
So the story drew so many investors that he had a line out of his office door and made $3 million in one day. And that's $34 million today.
Okay.
So yeah, just so that was good press. Good
For
press.
sure.
So by now, Ponzi's living the high life. Diamonds for Rose, a custom limo, a 12-room Lexington mansion. The list goes on.
It's crazy because it sounds like MTV Cribs, you know, they bring you
Right?
through there
Yeah.
and it's like 40 rooms, you know, but back then 12 rooms still was like you were living large. That
Yeah.
was
Big
money.
deal.
And you were a baller at that point if you had 12
Baller.
rooms. But now that's like, 12 rooms, you know, our celebrities would be like,
Yeah.
that's nothing. But still, that's for the 20s. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
So he even bought out his former employer, J.R. Poole, and fully took over Hanover Trust. So
You should
when he
buy out
goes
your
down-
former employer.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
With all that money I got.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, I don't know what I was saying.
Sorry, he took over his.
Yes, so he took over the bank. So of course these things would go down when he did. Which don't worry, guys. Spoilers. He totally goes down.
What?
I mean,
They caught Ponzi?
the Ponzi.
No way.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the Fonzie scheme because
The Fonzie scheme.
he kept
Okay,
it
we
so
need to
quiet.
write this movie.
It was never a thing.
It's a new Muppet movie called The Fonzie Scheme.
Yes, well, the Fonzie is the Fonz from Happy Days.
Yes.
But then I also mashed Fozzie Bear in there. So yeah, it's gonna
I got
be
it. I got
it's gonna
it.
be a whole thing.
So it's Fozzie Bear dressed
Yeah.
up as the Fonz.
Yeah. It'll be
doing
great.
a Ponzi scheme.
Holy shit. This is gonna be the best movie. It'll be like the Muppets Take Boston.
Yup, that's exactly what it'll be.
This is going to be the best thing. It'll air right after the movie about Cassie L. Chadwick.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so tell me more. Let's go back to, sorry,
Okay.
I'm all over the place more than usual.
okay.
Tell me about how he got caught. Tell me about his downfall. I really
Okay.
want to hear this part.
So this guy McMasters, the publicist, was not convinced.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke to investors, did the math, and determined just how much Ponzi owed investors. So realizing it would be impossible to pay them back, McMasters approached the assistant editor of the Boston Post, Richard Grozier, about running an expose on Ponzi.
Okay.
So Grozier was so afraid to be sued for libel that the publisher approached his local district attorney to ensure his immunity from a lawsuit if he ran the
damn.
piece. So, nerves calmed, Grozier pays McMaster $6,000 to write the article. So the headline was, declares Ponzi is now hopelessly insolvent.
Insolvent?
Yeah.
As in
has no money.
Right, can't.
Not solvent.
Oh, shit. So he basically just took to the press that Ponzi is broke and a big
and
sham.
This is the guy that Ponzi had hired.
Yeah.
So McMaster's employment by Charles Ponzi lasted exactly 10 days.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's shorter than some jobs I've held, which is saying something.
Oh, Brie. So the following
like
Monday
temp agencies,
morning,
though.
Oh, okay. If it's temp agencies, it's cool.
They're mostly temp.
You got hired at
it was temp
McDonald's,
agencies.
and they were like, "You're the worst fry cook we've ever had."
Hey, man, that oil. I've actually never worked at McDonald's. I've done lots of weird odd jobs, but that hasn't been one of them. Anyway, go on.
The following Monday morning, Ponzi was greeted with a line out of his office door stretching over half a mile long. So this was all of his investors
all want their
that
money
wanted
back.
their money back.
Holy shit. Can you imagine? You all... What did he do?
So he was actually able to pay off or placate the scared investors long enough to sue the Post for $5 million.
Oh, shit.
And he started making speeches condemning the paper, being like, this rag,
sounds like Trump.
Fake news, all that stuff. That's what he was screaming. So McMaster's, the publicist, responds with a second article calling for the Attorney General to ask investors to write letters indicating what Ponzi owed them.
Okay. It's only libel if you can prove it's not true.
Precisely.
Right.
So that worked. The letters came pouring in and proved that McMaster's expose was true. Ponzi simply didn't have enough money to pay back all of his investors. So at the same time, Ponzi's time in jail was made public, and Boston just totally turns against them.
All of Boston.
Now hates Ponzi.
Holy shit.
And can you imagine, having pissed off the police that much? 75% of the police force is
That's terrifying.
Investors with you.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. For those of us that are afraid of cops, that's really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boston cops.
Yes.
Angry Irish Boston cops.
In 1920.
Holy fuck. Yeah. So what did they do? What ended up happening to him? How long was he in jail?
Well, he had previously been in jail, remember? So I'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So because he had written letters to investors asking them to reinvest, he was convicted on mail fraud. So for that, he served 5 years. Okay. And
that was earlier, right?
No, that was for this.
Oh, okay. So before even getting to the money, he's on mail fraud.
Yeah, it's really weird how they did this.
Mm-hmm.
So first he's in for 5 years just for mail fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets released and he's supposed to stand trial for state larceny charges.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry, I'm a dumb idiot about some terms. What is larceny exactly?
It's
I actually don't know.
Big time theft.
Oh, so what he did?
Yes.
Gotcha. Now I know.
Yep. At least I think that's what it
just
means.
One of those blind spots. It's just one of those words I never knew. They're just things that you don't know.
I think
now
there's
I know
some
what
sort of technicality, like theft is up to a certain amount, and then it becomes larceny.
Larceny is over whatever 100,000 or something.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I feel like doing this podcast, I should actually know what that is. But
that's okay. We don't have to know every single detail. But what we do need to know is he was in jail for larceny.
No, he was supposed to stand trial for larceny charges.
Sorry.
But while he's out on bail, he flees to Florida.
No, he did not.
Yeah. And he doesn't really lay low, though. He runs a new scam selling swamplands as expensive real estate.
Drain the swamp.
That's what he was claiming you could do.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So how well did that go?
Not well. He was arrested and charged for this crime as well. But then he tries to flee the country.
Wait, okay. Fled to Florida. So my question when he's in Florida is, did people know in Florida what was going on with him? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Probably not so much, because news didn't travel as fast.
He had investors as far as Kansas and Maine.
Oh, okay.
So I think it did travel far enough, but I don't know that he was particularly well known in Florida.
But the problem was just that he was selling swampland that was not.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell it as something it wasn't.
Exactly.
Okay. So then where did he try to go to? Did he try to go back to Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. You know what? I don't know if it was back to Italy. I just read he tried to flee the country. He just was trying to, get the hell out of Dodge.
Uh-huh.
So he's caught and had to serve another 7 years in prison.
Damn.
So, there we go.
This wasn't just like a, hey, eventually pay back the money you owe anymore.
No.
This was you are running, you're in jail.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after he finishes serving that in 1934, he's deported back to Italy.
Okay. Good. We got him out.
Yeah. So Ponzi's gone. So Rose remains in Boston for 2 years before she finally divorces Charles. Mm-hmm. She was also one of his victims, hounded by rumors that she had a secret stash of money, even though her relatives had also been duped by the con man.
Oh, shit. I was going to ask about her. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Her brother-in-law invested, her parents invested,
Right, and then it's all bad.
Yeah. Jeez. And they also loaned him money before he went to Italy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This poor family.
Yeah.
I was wondering about her. I was wondering whether any women he was involved with were in on this with him, or if they were just victims taken advantage of. I
think she, she got the jewels and all that stuff. She was living the high life with him, but it sounds like she didn't really know, the details.
Right.
Or maybe she didn't ask. Maybe that's on her for not asking.
I guess.
But I think back then, if you asked your husband a question, he could technically beat you with something,
the
width of his
he
thumb.
might shut her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Shit.
So she would eventually remarry and move to Florida to escape her former husband's notoriety.
To Florida.
So I guess Florida didn't really know about Ponzi.
Interesting.
So after exposing Ponzi, William McMasters worked as a publicist for Boston Mayor James M. Curley and Horny Fitz. Is that right?
Horny Fitz? Horny Fitz.
It's JFK's grandfather.
I mean, that sounds like a fun time.
Did I write that right?
Did you?
I don't know.
Looking at the notebook. Homer? No, it looks like it says horny. Homie? Coney? Coney, 1920?
You know I'm going to lead into it. We're going with Horny Fitz. And that was JFK's grandfather. So,
all right.
Kennedys can sue me.
Horny, could it be Honey? What could his name actually be? I'm just hoping it's Horny. All right, so know. Horny Fitz tell me again who it was. I'm so
JFK's grandfather and he represented him as publicist on his mayoral campaign.
Okay.
So McMasters.
That is a serious name.
Yeah, it is serious. McMasters would go on to teach journalism at community college for 10 years and become a prolific writer. You okay? You're still laughing at Horny?
I can't get over Horny Fitz. Okay, tell me, start over. He went on to teach writing.
He went on to teach journalism at community college for 10 years.
Cool.
Became a prolific writer, penning a Broadway play called The Undercurrent, mystery stories, and several novels.
Cool.
He died in 1968 at the age of 93.
And that was McMasters.
McMasters, the guy that ultimately got Ponzi.
Cool.
Yeah. And back in Italy, Ponzi would talk his way into a high-ranking job in Mussolini's financial ministry.
Are you what?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know he was involved with Mussolini.
Well, I mean, that's who was in charge back then. So,
true.
Yeah. Having scammed his way into the job, once discovered, he would be forced to flee to Brazil. Of course, he fled with, suitcases full of money.
So suitcases full of money is that's almost where that, I guess it's always been a good place to store money if you really think about it. But the image of just a guy running with bills flying out of a suitcase comes from Ponzi possibly. That's pretty cool.
I'm sure multiple people have had to do that in their lives.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I never have. That would be great.
Yet. So he was forced to flee to Brazil. Once there, he worked for an airline doing business between Italy and Brazil. So it's a cushy job. It would come to an end when, during World War II, the Brazilian government learned that the airline was sending war supplies to Italy.
Oh, my God.
So they were not fans of that.
No.
So Ponzi
always doing something, isn't he? That Ponzi. Always that rascally Pons.
Yep. So he would go on to teach English and French and later work as an interpreter. At this point, Charles's eyesight was failing, and in 1948, he suffered a stroke which left him partially paralyzed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's sad. On January 18th, 1949, Charles Ponzi died in a charity hospital in Rio de Janeiro. He would leave $75 for his burial.
$75. So that's the equivalent of what? Then in that time, like
I don't know,
few,
300?
1,000, a few hundred, not 1,000, but
I'd say 300.
not
I'm
all that much
guessing.
money.
1949.
That's crazy.
I
What a
don't know.
life.
I'm just guessing, just pulling that number out of my ass.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not know a lot of this stuff about Ponzi. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
heard of a Ponzi scheme, but I didn't know exactly what it was or how it got so big or who busted him or any of that stuff. That's all really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So in his final interview, he would say, I had given them the best show that was ever staged in their territory since the landing of the Pilgrims.
He's not wrong.
It was easily worth $15 million to watch me put the thing over.
Well, I guess if you're trying to justify it all to yourself, that's not the worst way to do it.
Yeah, worth it to him, maybe.
You're right. I was going to say, like,
Right.
oh, it's not your money. It must be pretty easy to, to say, yeah, it was worth it.
Yep.
No problem.
So that's the story of Charles Ponzi.
Wow. Well, thank you for explaining all that to me. What a ride.
You're
That's
welcome.
cool. Cool story,
I'm
bro.
sorry we're not more professional, you guys.
This is fine. This is what podcasters do, right? You just sit and talk about this thing you're talking about, and it's casual, and,
I guess so. And sometimes one of them is super nasally and has bad allergies, and you just roll with it.
And sometimes the other one interrupts all the time and talks about Fozzie Bear the entire time. But it's cool. It is what it is. I think next time I want to talk about something cryptozoological, but I haven't really nailed it down yet. I just realized, like, I was talking to myself out loud in the car today about what I might do for my next podcast, and I realized that cryptozoological is a really fun word. That's a great word to say. And I wish I could say it more often. I might do something about the Loch Ness Monster, something about Bigfoot, maybe the Fiji mermaid, one of these. I haven't really narrowed it down yet, but it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So stick around because there is more flimflammery to come eventually.
Flimflammery.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the end. I don't really know how to end this thing. Bro.
Bruh. Bro. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. I'm so sorry.
We love you.
We love you. We love you, Wisconsin. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to FLIMFLAM. I'm Allison, she's Brie, and we've been do us a favor and rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast fix. If you'd like to send us your favorite FLIMFLAM, email us at flimflampod@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram @flimflampod. Thanks for listening, and if there's ghosts in your blood, you should do cocaine about it.